What's up guys? Welcome back on Stamperia YouTube. I'm Antonis Tzanidakis, aka Sir Vagabond, and we're back for one more tutorial with Art Stories products. And today we're going to alter this beautiful wine box. I had this on my studio for a long time and I thought it's a perfect timing to use the paints and just give a nice touch of this beauty here. So I'm gonna put the camera from the top so you can see all the details and then see you again at the end. The first thing we have to do, we have to use master primer, because even though the surface is porous and the Misty Paints and everything would go and stick on top of here, but I want to have a smooth surface so the Misty Paints can flow better, and so we have to use master primer. Master primer is a perfect product for non-porous surfaces but also for porous. So very easy, soft brush, master paint, and we're going to cover the whole box. When I start doing these tutorials, you see me not using gloves, but with all the mess and all the things we do, it was a disaster. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna start using gloves. It's much easier. So anyway, let's paint the whole box. I'm gonna dry and then we're back. After we dry very well, now we're ready to put down our first paint. Now for today, I'm gonna start with a soft paint stone ash. Sorry for my accent, but you can see here the color. I don't want to say the wrong thing, right? So I'm gonna take the soft paint and we're gonna get the soft brush and we're going to paint the whole thing gray. I just want to give first an industrial look, so I'm going to cover the whole surface with gray. These colors, they dry, they're super, they have a huge coverage and they're super smooth and they look very nice when they dry. So basically I'm gonna just give one coat everywhere and then I'm going to dry. So let's do that and then I'm back to see what we're gonna do next. And the gray is dry. I want to give some industrial look, that's why I started with the gray. Now you see me putting paper underneath, that means it's time for some fun. So I'm going to use Misty Paint, the deep black, and of course water, because I just want to give in general a darker look. Not very black, but I want the gray to look a little bit more vintage. So basically what you're going to do, I'm gonna take the stencil brush and now I'm gonna take a little bit of paint and I will go around the edges, spray water, let it drip, and in general just give a tiny shadows around the edges and everything. At the same time, I do also here, look, I just add a little bit and then I will let it drip. This is the magic with the Misty Paints. You can just let it drip and do magic. So maybe some of the angles is not the best for you, but I think you understand what I do. If we watch also the other tutorials, you know how this works. That in general is gonna give a very nice vibe. You don't need too much, just just let the water and the Misty Paints to do the work for you. Look at this. Look this, guys. Look at this dripping. More water, more dripping, of course. And now, the only thing we have to do, you can see how it looks. Look at this. Look at that. In some areas, of course, I have to go and just spray a little bit more water because I don't want to be too much black. But this is the result we want. Okay, now the only thing I have to do is just dry and of course dab off. Oh, I shouldn't put it down like this. Yeah, because look what this, don't place it down because you're not gonna get a nice result. So I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna do this at the end. And now the only thing I have to do, I'm just going and dry everything 100%. If you feel somewhere you want to remove color, the only thing you have to do, just take a baby wipe and dab. But so far it looks good for me. So I'm gonna just go and dry 100%. After we dry, you can see how nice and more vintage our box became. I just love this kind of look because it gives us a little bit more old. Before it was too gray, now with a deep black on top, of course watered down a lot, but this is the result we want. Now I'm going to use one of the stencils from the collection, and basically again I'm going to use the deep black Misty Paint. This is the good with the Misty Paints. They work like normal paint, they dry very fast and they dry matte, but at the same time you can use water and make them look like acrylic ink. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my sponge, a piece of the sponge, because of course I don't need to have the big piece, but I can just go randomly and just create some kind of texture here. And I will try also a little bit there. It's not easy in some areas, but I can just try to add a little bit, because anyway it's just the effect. We're gonna cover with other colors as well on top. Just like that. Maybe a little bit there. Here and there, you don't need to cover the whole thing, but of course, if you want, you can. I mean, it's up to you. But I feel like just here and there, all around the box. Just like that. To give a nice vibe. I would love if I could do up there, but the thing is that it's very hard because of the position. Anyway, that's good. No bad at all. And now I'm going to dry very well. Let me show you closer in the camera how it looks. Look at that. That's beauty, right? And here a little bit and at the back. So now we're gonna dry and then I'm back. After we dry, everything's ready and perfect. I don't mind, this one is too dark here, maybe it's too dark, but we're going to cover now with Misty Paints Cinnamon. that's a very nice rusty color, and it's gonna give a very nice rusty look on top of everything. So basically, I'm going to add some paper, even though I have this one, but this one is not gonna keep the water, so I'm gonna add paper. We're going for another mess. We have Misty Paints cinnamon. I have my water bottle, and with the stencil brush again, the Standarino, we're going in this position, and we're going to add just a little bit rust. And in general, I want these parts here to have more rust. Now I'm going more controlling. I mean, if you see that I'm not going all over the box, and just I'm controlling how much water I put. I have to be sure that I get exactly the rust I want and exactly on the area I want. Now I'm gonna dry, because I'm gonna do part by part. The most important now is that you're going more controlling. You don't want to do with the black, because before the black we don't care. It's just can go everywhere. That's why I did the whole box together. Now here I want to be more controlling. That's why also I'm being careful of how much water I put. And look this beautiful color we get. Oh, such a beauty. And I love the texture I get also from the box, because that was the box was porous and had the wood had texture, so I get a very nice look. The only thing you have to do is just dry very well, and then keep going on another area. Look at this, guys. Look at this beauty. Just with one color. Here I have to fix a little bit. I don't like the patches, but basically I didn't do anything else. I just dry. Look the reaction. Look this beauty. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go just a little bit, like in some areas I'm going to touch up and dry, and I'm gonna keep doing the same all over the box until I like the result and the amount of rust. Now look at this, I just add a little bit, I spray just a little bit water, and then I start drying, and of course I can go back and dab, and look what I get. Look at this. That's beauty. So basically this is what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to add more in some areas. Don't forget the water, so it makes the colors react. Misty Paints, they're just phenomenal for these things. And basically I will start like going area by area, taking a little bit from the cinnamon, add spray water, let it drip, and then dry. So I'm gonna do that all over the box. It's the same technique, and then I'm gonna show you the result. And after applying and drying, this is the result, guys. Look at that. Look at this beauty. Now, the idea was I have it on this orientation, dripping, because it's a wine bottle, so you kind of like just want to display it like this. Of course, you can choose if you do something similar, but this is what I felt. So I have like more rust coming down. I kept here the area, and I have like a little rust like here and dripping down a little bit. On the bottom I haven't done anything, but the same idea I kept also all around the box. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take again the Misty Deep Black. I have a little water with my stencil brush, and I'm gonna just drop some splashes. I think I need more water. So it depends on the splash you want. If you want big ones, I want kind of like big ones. So I kind of like just randomly go all over and just drop some splashes. Okay, and of course I'm going to dry. Let me show you how it looks. You can see all these nice splashes of black. Just blends everything together. And I'm going to dry, and we'll have a little touch up, I think, before we finish with the stencil, and then we're done. After we dry, this is the result. Very beautiful. I kind of like this. I have to fix this part here. It's kind of like, I don't really like it. I will try to see if I can remove a little bit with the baby wipe. Now looks better. Now what we're going to do as a final step, I have the stencil, I clean it, but be sure that it's not wet. And then I have to find the same position. Now the same position is going to be difficult because, but I remember it was kind of like, oh, I found it. Looks like it, I found it. Okay, and then we have Patina Wax Heritage Gold. I'm gonna put a little bit on my acrylic block. Now the thing is, could stay like this, but I know y'all like a lot the gold, so I'm gonna just add a little bit to have some highlights. Stencil brush, clean a little bit on a piece of paper, and then just go randomly. And let me see, very nice. Yeah, just give a nice touch. You don't need to make it solid. It's just to give the idea of having something there. I think that was, yeah, I remember. Now what I want here is just to be able to touch a little bit. And up there, we don't really need. And of course you can go do, look the result, guys. Look at this beauty. Looks like gold leaf, because you have the black underneath, right? So now the only thing you do, go find the words, match, and just do the same technique all around. And this is our project for today. Of course I'm gonna have some close-ups so you can see better, but look at this, guys. Look at this industrial rusty with a little bit of gold. Look at that, beauty. And that was the tutorial for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. We did something industrial, rusty, with a little sign at the end. So don't forget, subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the upcoming tutorials. Of course, if you ring the bell, the notification bell, you're gonna get notified about any upcoming video from Stamperia YouTube. That was me, Antonis Tzanidakis, aka Sir Vagabond. Thank you very much. See you on the next tutorial.